In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. What up, Grizz Nation? My name is Kenny Stubblefield. I'm here with my guy, my little homie, my fellow blockhead, my guy, Jared Davidson. What's up, Jared?
What's up, man? Doing besides the game, you doing all right?
Listen, these things, like, there are certain games I get frustrated by. The October 31st game, super frustrated. The Boston game, a few games after that, really frustrated by. These games at this point in the season, they don't really do much to my spirit whatsoever. Yeah. It's kind of a wash, rinse, and repeat thing with this Grizzlies team. They lost tonight, 133-127 in Memphis against the New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah, I mean, New Orleans is not a good team. And at this point, I would tell you Memphis is not a good team. They have good pieces. They have good players, but they're just not a great team right now. And a large portion of that is due to the fact that they added two more high leverage, high level guys that play a lot of minutes on this roster to the injury report again. So, it just is what it is at this point, right?
Yeah, it is, man. And I'm trying to crunch a couple numbers because I've thought of an interesting stat, but it's just like I had this. We talked about it on the Wednesday game, so we talked about it Thursday morning, on the daily grind. As like I'm not apathetic. I'm just to the point where like I've accepted what this team is with the injuries and without the injuries, and it's just like. It's wash, rinse, repeat with how we do it. So it's like I said, it's not apathetic. Apathetic is what I was feeling when we were going through the whole jaw drama stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's just like I know what we have. Now 43 games into the season. I'm just kind of sitting here like, man, it is what it is at this point. Like it's not gonna hurt me a lot one way or the other.
Well, there seems to be quite a few, and I want to say shout out to everybody that's in the comment section. If you are in Memphis, you are extremely cold right now and anticipating
so cold here.
Yeah, anticipating a winter weather storm. And so you're probably home, bundled up, watching the game. There does seem to be quite a few people that are really upset in the chat tonight. King Meek says, this one hurts worse than when I found out wrestling wasn't real. Wayno Wayno
Shout out to all
says-
the Lords. Shout. Okay, good.
Wayno says we're hanging on to too many players from glory days, if you can even call it that. Time to move some sitting dead weight and bring in some serious players. Mimant, we are officially ass.
I agree with that.
So tonight's game, it's official.
It's
the
official.
Grizzlies are ass. Okay.
We
All right.
we are awful as of tonight.
As of tonight, we are awful. What I want to know from the comment section, throw it in here. What about tonight outside of the other games where the Grizzlies have played really well for about 3.5 quarters? Maybe even I would even say today it was probably the majority.
You're about
of
to lead me
fourth.
right into the stat I'm looking up.
Like, what was it? What is it about today's game that wash, rinse, repeat of pushing out leads to double digits and then falling back in the fourth and ultimately losing a close game? What is it about this game that has got people so perplexed?
I think it's because it's the Pelicans.
Is it because it's the Pelicans?
I really feel like it's because it's the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Like, even without Ja, I think a lot of people expect us to win this game.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I mean, that's true. Oh
boy, this is about to be ugly.
Yeah. What is it? What is it, everybody? I want to know.
Okay.
This game.
While we're getting these comments in, Kenny, and while you go through them, I'm done researching the stat and doing the math here. You ready to hear it?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
In the Memphis Grizzlies' last 4 losses, including tonight, through 3 quarters, the Memphis Grizzlies have outscored their opponents 369 to 352.
Say that again. I was looking at comments.
No, you're good. So in the Memphis Grizzlies' last 4 losses, including tonight. So I think this includes the Thunder, the Magic, the Hawks, and the Pelicans tonight. The Grizzlies have outscored their opponents 369 to 352 in the third quarter, or through the third.
Okay.
In the fourth quarter, we are outscored 140 to 107.
In the last 4 losses?
Yeah, in the last 4 losses. So tonight against the Hawks, against the Magic in Berlin, and then the Thunder.
Yeah. Memant, who said that the Grizzlies are officially ass, said that was some BS. If I ain't ever seen BS, I wish Jaren would be more aggressive in the fourth. Plus, all these Memphis injuries make it impossible to get a rhythm. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that part.
That's a crazy statistic, and what you just did, the breakdown of through the first 3 quarters, the Grizzlies massively outscoring teams in these last 4 losses, and then in the fourth getting boat raced by 30. Basically 30 points. What would you what do you attribute that to? Because this is again, it's just another fourth quarter collapse. So, like, what do you attribute these fourth quarter collapses to?
A couple things. One, not having a closer. 2, just not being healthy, which for the Grizzlies is never. And we just have a lot of young guys that are playing. A lot of young guys and a bunch of scrubs that are, shout out TLC, that are playing in the fourth quarter. Yeah. It's just, that's how it happens. And then we don't make adjustments. And TI kind of said it. Shout out to DeMichael for the article. He said it after last game. He goes, the game slows down in the fourth quarter, and we're not equipped to do that right now with what we have. And we have one of the better fast break transition teams in the NBA. And in the fourth quarter, you're not going to have a lot of fast break, and you're not going to be able to outrun teams in the fourth quarter. You are going to have to slow the game down and play in the half court. And so just a culmination of those 3 or 4 things I just mentioned, it just adds up to a dumpster fire for the Grizzlies in the final 12 minutes of playing basketball in their last 4 losses.
Yeah, Rusty brought some stats too. We are ranked 24th in half-court offense. Late in games, it slows down to a half-court game. Recipe for disaster, 100%. I mean, there's a reason why even when TI at the beginning of the season said speed kills, right? Like, how many times it felt like it was an entire
felt like we got a whole monologue on it.
Yeah, like it was an entire PR move by everybody that came out and said, hey, here's the talking point, speed kills, right?
Yeah.
And you're right, as does the game going from the regular season to the playoffs. from the fourth quarter or from the first 3 quarters to the fourth quarter, the game does slow down. And you have to referees tighten the whistle up. They will make more calls. They'll do all these different things that will slow the game down. And if you don't have a closer and a guy who can facilitate a half court offense, then it's really, really tough. It's really tough.
It gets really tough as well. And also too, we did not play defense tonight at all either.
Yeah.
Like not just the fourth quarter. We didn't play defense the entire night. That's why this game was so close, because what the Grizzlies have done so well in these losses through the first 3 quarters, besides the third quarter of Berlin against Orlando when we scored 12 points,
right,
is we have gotten this speed kills offense. We've gotten out to hot starts, hot shooting from the 3, hot shooting from the field. You get the good offensive play through the first 3 quarters, but you're also pairing that with solid defense. I'm not going to say great defense. I'm not going to say good defense. It's solid defense. But tonight, like where you're holding teams to 115 or so, because the fourth quarter will elevate that, because like I said, we have sucked in the fourth. The Grizzlies allowed 133 points tonight, and in all 4 quarters tonight, we allowed 30 or more points, 30, 30, 33, 40. Oh my gosh, your face just lit up like a Christmas tree.
Sorry, it's my computer. I was looking at the box. I was looking at the box score.
But yeah, so it's just the Grizzlies defense tonight wasn't even half decent. It was piss poor. And so you culminate that with a collapsing fourth quarter. It's a recipe for disaster and trying to keep up. There's only so much the speed kills offense can do, especially when it gets down to the nitty gritty. That's why the Grizzlies are one of the worst teams this year in clutch situations when scores are within 5-point margin under 5 minutes in the game.
Yeah. And a part of it is also, I think, that you have guys who haven't been through those clutch time moments, those winning moments in NBA basketball, right? When you have, Cam Spencer, Jalen Wilson, Cedric Howard, who are great players, but when the ball is in their hands, this is the NBA. Like when the ball's in their hands in the fourth quarter, they've never really experienced anything like this before. And so there is a level.
Cam Spencer was your leading scorer in the fourth.
Yeah, and he played fantastic. Like I thought he had a great night tonight. But there are moments where you see Cedric Howard, Cam Spencer, where they step up and they do things in the fourth quarter that are that remind you of a closer, if you will. But they're just so young, man. It's so hit or miss, right? Like, yeah, you want those extended type of opportunities, and the only way you get that is by playing. The only way you get that is by actually having the reps out there.
Yeah, and with going to Cedric, when he got subbed back in around the 4-minute mark, he's starting to show glimpses of this. Ced is starting to show glimpses of possibly blooming into a late clutch fourth quarter player, because he had a great little flurry as soon as he subbed back in. I think that's where all 5 of his fourth quarter points from, a 3 and a finger roll, and had played some decent defense too when he came back in. So I mean, we're starting to see Ced bloom into that, but he's just a rookie and he's going to do rookie things. So like I said, we just don't have that closer right now. And the guy who is supposed to be the closer is always injured, whether it's sitting out or actually injured. Because I'm not going to tonight. You saw his elbow get bit in a weird way when he hit the backboard the other night. So yeah, I mean, that's can't really be mad at that. He's actually hurt this time. It's just a thing of you ain't got it. You're closing the games with guys who should be 7th through 9th on your bench.
Yeah. I'm looking at the fourth quarter, and I'm looking at the play-by-play because I was trying to figure out timing-wise when Ced went out and when he came back in. Looks like he left the game with he came out. Gigi entered the game at 8:54 for Cedric Howard. The score was 104-99.
Yeah.
And
we were up, right?
104-99. We were up. Yes.
Yeah, that's when we were still up.
And he came back in with 4 minutes and let me look. I'm trying to find it. 4 minutes and 25 seconds down by 3.
Jeez.
So in a matter of 4 minutes of game time, New Orleans went on a +7 run, and I think Jaren was out for that same amount of time too.
Yeah, I think he was too because they got subbed out right at the same time.
Those are real issues to me at this point. If you are trying to get reps for your guys in closing time, sitting out for 4 minutes, like the middle half of that fourth quarter for that long of a time period is not going to be conducive to getting opportunities, right? Because he did. You saw him. They were up by 4 when he left, and when he came back at 4:25, they were up by or down by 3. Was it 3? Yeah, down by 3. And he immediately came in and he let me see, made a 3-foot, made a jumper or made a 2-point shot, a 3-point shot, and then Cam hit a 3 and got fouled. Jaren scored, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, so he hit a nice little flurry of a couple of points.
Yeah, they came back in and we immediately a 5-point swing to where we took a 2-point lead again.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. I think we see that Cedric Coward is being groomed to be the guy for this Memphis Grizzlies team.
Yes, 100%.
And I think it is a fair thing to say that he can be that guy. As a rookie, you're seeing things out of him where immediately he comes in the game and things happen, right? Like things happen.
Yeah, and it goes back to you and I had this conversation on a post-game bounce a while back where Ced's adding new things every 10 games or so. He's kind of taking the seasons in sections and adding things to his game. And tonight you're kind of you saw him take a little bit of assertiveness in the fourth quarter, adding another little thing to his game that he's going to try to iron out and get better at.
It's these kinds of these are the little things that the lack of imagination when you see a win that's ready for the taking in the fourth quarter, when you see a guy who is coming in and making impacts the way that Ced is, the way that Jaren does when he came in. Jaren scored a couple of baskets. He had that massive chase down block against Derek Queen, which truthfully felt more so like a Derek Queen laziness than it did.
Yeah.
He allowed Jaren to get back into that play. Even though shout out to Jaren for hustling back so hard. There is if you are truly trying to win games, you are going to adjust that fourth quarter rotation a little bit.
Yep.
Right. It's these kinds of games that make me go, it's these kinds of, I guess, stubbornness to that rotation, to that 8 minute to 4 minute rotation where Ced and Jaren are out every single game, no matter what is happening in the fourth, that makes me think that this team is not trying to put the gas down on the floor and win games. They are trying to play well and massage losses, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I legitimately think they're trying to do that, because if you are literally trying to win games, you see the impact that Cedric has on the floor when he's out there, and you don't take him out for 1/3 of winning time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't do that.
Yeah, Trey Murphy Zion played 10 minutes in the fourth. Trey Murphy played 8. Sadiq Bey played 8. Sadiq Bey had 19 in the fourth. Those guys are playing, and I believe when they were out, it was early in the fourth. And they came in and played a lot of the rest of the game whenever they came back in. You oftentimes, unless it's like a close start to the fourth quarter, I'm watching it. When it's close time to the fourth, you'll see teams that start the fourth with more of a bench unit in. And that's what the Pelicans did tonight. Yeah. The Grizzlies start with their guys sub out at the 8-minute mark, and then all of a sudden we're back into a hole. And it's just, like I said, it's wash, rinse, repeat with this team, man. It's just
Yeah, Anthony, I don't have it in here, so I can't play your sound, but the sound is right. Dun, 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 dun. I do want to say It is nice having other NBA teams fan bases watching this show, and I really appreciate y'all being here. I find it incredibly rich that a Brooklyn Nets fan is coming into our comment section and blowing the comment section up and saying Zach Kleiman has been GM for 7
Who
years.
is Cedric Howard?
And all you have to look forward to is Cedric Howard. If Cedric Howard is a mix between Cedric Howard and Dwight Howard, then I'm cool. Like, but bro, like, how is your little bird doing over there? Little Zaire Williams. How's everything going on over there with the Brooklyn Nets? Like, I think this is pretty rich that he's coming into our comment section, which is fine. We appreciate you, but bro, come on. Like, you're a Nets fan.
Oh, hang on.
Yep, that's my sound.
There you go, Zane. There you go, Zane.
Grizz Girl wants to know how many minutes did Cedric Howard play? He played 28 minutes tonight. Let's go through the stats real quick. Jaren Jackson played 32 minutes, 26
Shocking.
points, 7 of 18 from the field, 12 rebounds. Shout out to him. Really, really good rebounding game for him. 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 4 blocks. Was a +1.
I'll come back to that after we go through the stats.
Yeah, Cedric Howard, 13 points, 5 of 11 from the field, 3 of 7 from the 3-point line, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block. Jalen Wells, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 turnovers. Jesus.
Oh.
And then a guy who I think is pricing himself out of an opportunity to continue to play for the Grizzlies. Jock Landale has been awesome, and he is awesome.
Yep.
I
don't know if T.I. lets him get away, though, if T.I.'s still here.
I hope he keeps them. 24 points, 11 of 18 from the field, 2 of 5 from the 3-point line. Zeno, when Zeno was playing, Anthony was a fan. Shout out.
Yeah, man. Wells did get benched for Gigi. This is like the second or third time in the past 2 weeks that this has happened.
Yeah, really.
Start Gigi at the 3.
Yeah, Cam Spencer, 21 points, 7 of 9 from the field, 4 of 6 from the 3-point line, 11 assists, 5 rebounds. Somehow was a -2. Gigi Jackson, 15 points, 23 minutes, 15 points, 6 of 10, 3 of 4 from the 3-point line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. And that's really all that matters in terms of, I mean, some other guys played good 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, but I mean,
John Concho was so close to a Tony Snell game.
I see that now.
21 minutes of straight up cardio. Dude. Can we go back to the Jaren stat? Because it's becoming much more of a trend recently. Because Jaren had a stretch earlier in the year where he had a string of like 2 weeks of really good fourth quarters when we thought the Grizzlies were about to turn things around, back to when we had visions of being over 500 in the month of January.
That feels like such a long time ago.
It really does. He's gone AWOL in the fourth quarter again. Like I said, you just look at the straight up box score, 26 and 12 with 4 blocks looks amazing. Then you open that fourth quarter where he had 2 points, 2 rebounds, 3 of his blocks in the fourth. So that was good. 1 of 6 from the field and 0 of 1 from 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing about it. It's not like, and maybe I might be wrong on this. I didn't feel like it was a lack of hustle on Jaren's part. I didn't feel like it was a lack of give a damn. Like, he absolutely, like, is even on defense, got trucked by Zion on that one play where he had a pretty nice defensive play, and got the chase down block on Derek Queen. Had a couple of turnovers in that I think both of his turnovers were in the fourth quarter.
He had 1 in the fourth.
Was it only 1? Okay.
Yeah.
I know he had the one against Derek Queen where Derek Queen stripped him on the baseline.
1 in the fourth, 1 in the third.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm not saying it's effort tonight. Like I saw the effort was there. Like I saw the effort was there.
Yeah.
It's just with this team though, not complacency. Sometimes complacency. Effort is always good, but you have to start pairing that effort with execution.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I agree with that. I think we have to come to the understanding and reality that Jaren is not the fourth quarter closer.
no, he's not.
He's just not. And so, like, even in that sense, like that's why what's more concerning to me is not what Jaren did in the fourth, because he's done this in the fourth.
Yeah.
This is what he does. It's that if you are trying to win games, Tomas Isolo, Cedric Coward is clearly a guy who the team, the franchise is focusing on and wants to put him in positions of being that closer, to be in those high leverage moments, be the guy to close the game.
Yeah.
And yet he sits out for large, like when shit's getting haywire out there, he's on the bench sitting next to Jaren. He's on the bench sitting next to Tomas Isolo. Like there are, even during in the fourth quarter, those first couple of minutes are still kind of not feeling out kind of minutes, but they're still kind of, all right, we're about to ratchet this thing up and we're gonna get this thing rolling in a second.
You get about 3 to 4 minutes in the fourth quarter where you can play it like T.I. wants to play it, with fast offense, which is why the Grizzlies still, even though New Orleans started the fourth quarter on a run, which is why the Grizzlies were still able to kind of keep them at bay early on in the third quarter. You get to within 7-8 minutes in that fourth quarter, that's when the game really starts to become much more methodical, and to stay in the rhythm of this week of a few shows on here, like a chess game, like a chessboard. And, certain pieces start moving in the game late that, it ultimately just kills you in the end.
Yeah, I think that's the part that it's Cedric Coward's minutes distribution in the fourth quarter that make me think that this team is not real serious about winning a lot of games right now.
They are okay with they're right there. They're starting to lean more one way on a balance beam.
Yeah.
But they are totally fine, I think, whichever way this thing goes.
You mentioned it a few minutes ago, and I think it's a good conversation to have. Yeah. Once again, thanks everybody for being here. 259 people watching the show right now. If you're in Memphis, stay warm this weekend. I don't know. I know kind of when weather systems hit the river, it tends to go north and south of us. So I don't know exactly how much we're going to get in terms of accumulation. But just stay, man, turn a little drip water faucet on, turn the water faucets on, open the cabinet doors, don't let your pipes freeze, man. Just y'all stay safe out there. But shout out to y'all for being here. I think one of the conversations that we've been having privately behind the scenes at BCM, and I think it is a good time to bring it to the forefront here, is a conversation about Gigi Jackson. And how good he's been.
Phenomenal.
Let me ask you this. Like the thing that's dogged Gigi throughout his career is not that he's not a talented player. It has been very clear throughout the 3 seasons that he's been in the NBA. Because like right now he's 21 years old. He came into the NBA at 18 years old. Is still, I think, 3 years into the NBA, into his NBA career, still the youngest player on this team.
He is.
And so there's never been a question about Gigi Jackson's talent level. But for Anthony, who's in the comment section, who's a Brooklyn fan, and all the other folks who are watching this that might not know a lot about Gigi Jackson, like, put your finger on what has been the issue with Gigi Jackson and why we haven't seen him get a lot of regular minutes in the first 3 years of his career.
For me, it's always been unpolished raw talent, because you see the raw talent, and for what just this is like, you could have a completely different viewpoint, but he can be a cone on defense, but even on the offensive side of the ball, Kenny, he had his moments where, he would get so tunnel vision and fixated on the rim and trying to score, he wouldn't account for the other 4 guys around him, and it would just kind of kill his game. And yeah, Kadarius kind of hits on where I'm going to here with the IQ. We've seen his basketball IQ improve, and I think T.I. was the perfect coach for him right now. You kind of saw it in glimpses barely last year with T.I. as an assistant, but T.I. said he was going to coach him the hardest this year, and he has. And I think Gigi's finally learning that, because he was the guy at South Carolina. He was the guy for a little bit while we were trash his rookie year, and he could go drop 40 whenever he wanted to, pretty much. And now he's starting to realize that, hey, he's a part of a bigger system, but also starting to utilize his talents and his phenomenal basketball skill that we have seen displayed at times throughout this young career. He's finally learning how to use that to contribute to winning, and his defense is getting steadily better and better. But like, the big thing for me has always just been unpolished raw talent.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, the biggest issue for Gigi has been the little things about basketball, right? It's the small things. It's the things that allow you to be to play a role for a team, and not just be, when you have a team that has Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant that are going to dominate the ball the majority of the time. You need to be able to do other things than have to have the ball in your hands scoring to be effective for a team. And I feel like that was Gigi's biggest like issue, was that he was having struggles finding ways to be engaged with team basketball when the ball wasn't in his hands, right? Like that's kind of what I've seen out of him, which always confused me about why the Memphis Grizzlies thought sending him to the hustle was a good thing. Yeah. Because when he went to the hustle, he was the guy with the ball in his hands at all times, and that's not really what he needed to work on. No. And so I do think I agree with what you're saying, in that he is able to now score in a more efficient way. And maybe that's where those reps in the hustle helped him, is that he was able to kind of figure out a role and how to score, develop a really good move. Like most guys that are really fantastic offensive players in the NBA are guys that have a move, like guys that have a specific move that's really difficult to stop. And Gigi has created that Euro step swipe, like that Euro step swing through. Like that's a really, at 6'9", 200 and however big he is,
unstoppable.
It's really unstoppable, honestly, in a lot of ways.
And to the point, like I said about, he would get fixated on the rim. He's starting to see the floor a lot more open up, because I think he's also starting to trust his instincts and not freeze up. Because at times last year, when we saw him starting to get more minutes, whenever he would try to get into more meaningful games, trying to get in more meaningful games, you would see as soon as trouble would like come towards him, he would freeze up and either turn over or just hold on to the ball. He's starting to see the floor better. I think he's starting to trust his floor vision a lot better as well. Because like I said, at South Carolina, he was the guy. But that trash year where we had all the injuries, he was kind of the guy for then. And I think that really hurt his growth early on.
Well, it's very clearly changing. I think we can say that since he's been back, he didn't play a lot at the beginning of the season.
Also, South Carolina was a trash team when he was there.
South Carolina was terrible. But he didn't play a whole lot during the beginning of the season, and now he's getting substantial minutes. And so what we're seeing is the things that he's doing right now are super repeatable, right? Yes. And the good part about it is that even at such a young age and early in his career, he is repeating those things. It's not that they're just repeatable. He is repeating them. And that's a big step of growth for Gigi. And I think part of it is you've heard him in the off season prior to this season talking about, I know what my role is. Like, this coaching staff has shared with me what my role is, and I understand it. They have coached me very hard to understand my role, and now I get it. And so for me, there was a lot of confusion at the beginning of the year, because coming into the season, I was like, man, Gigi is saying, number one, is saying all the right things. Number two, he looks different. out there,
Mhm.
like size wise. Like he is not a skinny kid anymore. He is
No, he's put
he
on
has
muscle.
got a man's body now. And I was so confused as to why he wasn't getting minutes. And now that he's getting substantial amount of minutes, I would like to see him up there in that 28 to 32 minute range that the starters are, which means you probably have to start them. I think that clearly looks like what Tomas Isolo, he wants to have his starters in that 25 to 30, which is such a low number. Number one, 25 to 30 is such a low number, but that's his kind of sweet spot for the starters. I want to see him in that minute range because he is showing that when he's out there, he is producing for this team. And I think he just adds a layer of he provides so much force on another team with his size and his speed and his skill set that Jalen Wells right now doesn't provide. He just doesn't.
And I think I gotta sneeze. I think we're starting to see. It's gonna be one of those that just sits there and never comes out.
I got a tickle in my throat. The same exact thing.
But I think we're starting to see T.I. lean more towards it because Jalen Wells, like I said, we've seen him bench Jalen Wells in late in games in the fourth quarters for G.G. Jackson, and so I think we're trending towards that. And with the way the season's gone now, let it be. Like start G.G. at the 3. If we can get Ja back here in the next few games, make it Ja said Gigi, Jaren, and Jock, or Santi and Jaren, something like that, because we're not getting Edie for a long time. That's just one of those things. But put Gigi out there. Like, what are you gonna lose at this point? Gigi tonight was one of the better players on the court. He had the best plus minus off the bench. Now Jalen, what I did like from Jalen tonight was that he reduced his shot chucking that we've seen the last few games. He only took 7. And when he does that, that's a better Jalen Wells. And it's just, I think right now, Jalen sometimes gets very trigger happy from, especially beyond 3. He had 16 shots the other night and made like 5. But tonight, only 7 and made 4. So when he's taking lower number of shots, then Jalen's in a much better spot. But I think we are very well trending towards Gigi starting to get into that starting role, because Gigi played 23 tonight. Jalen played 25. So Gigi was only 2 behind Jalen.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's a right move. I would just like to see what it looks like with Gigi on the floor to start the game, right? Like, because I think if you are trying to speed kills people, if you're trying to be fast, if you're trying to push the ball the way that Tomas Isolo says he wants to, Jalen's kind of out of place in that area, right? Like, he's kind of out of place in that area because he's not fast. He's not a fast player. He's not really athletic. He's a smart player, which I think helps. And he shoots the ball decently well. Yeah. He hasn't shot the ball like very well this year. Like, you haven't seen him shoot the ball. And maybe I don't know what the statistics are on this year and last year, but it definitely, like, it just does not feel like his shot is as consistent even as it was last year as a rookie. If his shot is not falling, if Jalen Wells' shot is not falling, then I get real concerned about like what he provides, right? Like, even on the defensive side of the floor, he's a decent help side defender. He's an active help side defender. But even his point of attack defense isn't been really great this year. It's not like, I know one of the things we marveled at last year was that every single superstar that came into the FedEx Forum, or they were on the road, that he guarded them. You saw him, and we saw
shooting worse this season in every category.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, my eye test says that's true.
He's shooting 3 to 4% worse in regular field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, and from the free throw line.
Yeah, I would love to, and I agree with Wayno. Build Gigi's confidence with that starting spot, especially right now with all the injuries. I don't even know if it's a confidence thing for Gigi.
No, I don't think it is either. I want to go back to that. Like, put him in the starting lineup and these good starts get better.
Yeah.
Like the Grizzlies have been on fire in the first quarter in the last several games. Put Gigi out there with this speed kills, and now granted, Jock's not the definition of speed kills either. Neither is Zach Edey. If we theoretically had a full lineup, but then again, like you're not expecting your five to be speed, but like say when Santi gets back, you put Jock back to the bench and you start that five being fast. That like I said, that just makes a good start even better.
Yeah. Obviously, Jock is not the guy that they expected to be the majority starter at the 5 position
not
this
at
year.
all.
But I would disagree with you in that I think that Zach Edey, when he's out there, we did a whole episode.
Well, he's faster than you think.
Well, it's just the way he plays. His high IQ, his ability to rebound and get the ball up the floor with outlet passes. His outlet passing is really good. Right now, I mean, you see the numbers, and Brevin and Pete talked about it the entire night. Right now, with the team that they have out there without Zach Edey, everybody has to crash the defensive rebounds, right? Like look at the rebounding stats from today. They only ended up losing it by 2, 49-47. The Grizzlies did. But offensive rebounds, they had 18 New Orleans had 18 offensive rebounds in this game. And so when Zach is out there, his size and his ability to rebound makes it to where not everybody has to gang team rebound on the defensive board. So then you're able to get out quicker. I think it's a space thing. I think it's a high IQ thing. I think it's with Zach Edey, the game felt faster and more fluid when Zach was out there. And I think you could do the same thing with Gigi. I would love to see Gigi get some time to see what it looks like, because you got to find out pretty quickly, right? Like you need to find out, is he going to be the 3 of the future, or is he going to be just another guy? And if he's just another guy, then let's figure it out and see what the trade value, the trade market is for him. And see what you can get for him. If he's not going to be the guy, you need to find that out. But I would suspect that with the way he's playing right now and the things that he's doing, the confidence in which he's playing with, I think he'll thrive in a starting role.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I still think that Gigi declared way too early, and that's why he was a second-round pick. But
he had a really bad draft cycle.
He had a very bad draft cycle. But I mean, Gigi is your stereotypical long wing. That like good long wing. Like that's who he can be, and he just brings so much to the floor. I saw a comment earlier. Someone said, "Is his ceiling Trey Murphy?" I would venture to say almost a taller Andre Iguodala if he ever reaches his full potential.
I like that. Yeah.
So,
yeah, I like that. I like that comp. I think he shoots a little bit better than Andre shot threes pretty well. He couldn't shoot.
The way Andre developed, he shot threes better later in his career. Yeah. So people forget Philadelphia Andre Iguodala was a menace driving to the bucket. So
Wayno is out on Ja Morant. Gigi is maturing faster than Ja Morant.
Okay, Wayno, for a second I thought you found a picture of T.I. playing basketball, and I looked closer and that might just be you.
Is that
I don't know. Like I don't know. Considering the modeling pics that we saw that one time from him and just the face structure, I thought it was T.I. for a second, and now I think it's just Wayno playing ball.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
All right. Anything else that we want to discuss? I don't really have a whole lot about this game. They lost. Yeah, it sucked, but yeah, I
don't really like I said, I don't really have anything.
Hey, real quick in the NBA though, some news came out. Devin Booker jacked his ankle up today.
Oh, there goes my fantasy basketball team.
Yeah, like I'm interested in seeing. I mean, it looked really rough. Like it looked like it was a bad one. He was on crutches after the game. It looked bad.
Yeah.
I'm
Ooh.
on,
Yeah.
we'll see. Phoenix has been a team that has surprised a lot of folks this year with the ability that in how many games they've won. I think a lot of us thought they would be terrible, but they haven't been. They've been
Yeah.
good. And so there were a lot of question marks around that pick. And
Dang,
yeah,
and he's ooh, that could be big if he misses a good amount of time because he's played 40 games for them this year. So
yeah, he's played a lot of games.
he's been really healthy for him this year. So if that could be huge, and if the Magic keep sucking, and the Grizzlies decide they want to tank too, just this draft is good. Is all I'm gonna say.
Dude, I'm looking at box scores from other games right now that are still going on. Denver's beating Milwaukee in Milwaukee by 13.
Yep.
And they started Zeke Njai, Spencer Jones, Jalen Pickett, and Julian Strother are there alongside Aaron Gordon, and they're beating them by 13. Giannis Antetokounmpo has played 22 minutes and has shot the ball 5 times.
He's so getting traded.
No, he so wants out.
He's so getting traded, dude.
So wants out.
Okay, plug here. If y'all, I can't remember if it was. I think it was yesterday. Sane kind of talked about it, about the whole like Giannis, like he thinks there's about to be a big like landscape shift. Yeah, okay, it was today. In the NBA, that was early. I didn't get to watch all it. I heard him talk about it earlier this week. He may have gone more in depth today, but that could be huge because the Bucks are going to want something good in return back, like really good in return back. And I'm very interested to see what they would get back for him, because this isn't like a disgruntled star who's playing bad. This is still a guy in his peak that's wanting out. But so I'm very intrigued to see how that unfolds. We're 2 weeks away now? February 5th is 2 weeks away. So
okay, I was like, why is Jamal Murray not playing? All right, it says he's out. They announced before the game because it says has not entered game, and I'm like, wait a second.
Imagine Jamal Murray getting a DNP CD on this game.
My gosh, man. The Hawks beat the Suns tonight in Atlanta.
Well, at least they're doing us a favor.
Yeah, shout out to the Hawks. Oh my gosh, the Pacers beat the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
Dude, I'm telling you, Jalen Williams came back and they started sucking. In games that Jalen Williams played, they suck. Wow. Now, when they get close to the second apron, he's the odd man out, not Chet Holmgren. So,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's crazy. They went from on pace to break the record to what?
They've lost 9 or 10 losses.
Yeah, they're 37-9 now.
Yeah. The Memphis Grizzlies are in the 12th spot in the Western Conference. They are tied with the Dallas Mavericks. They are a game and a half back from the LA Clippers, who have gone on a crazy streak. Dude, 14-3 in their last 17.
Yep, and they play again on Sunday against the Nets. And they were once – I sent in our group chat earlier today, and I said the Los Angeles Clippers, ladies and gentlemen, they were 4-21, and now they sit at 20-24. Or 6-21. And now they're 20-24. People can hate on Ty Lue all they want to. That man knows what he's doing. Weird music started playing in my ears. I got scared.
That was me. That's me.
Oh my gosh, that terrified me for a second.
I got asked to play a song. It was during Rusty and I's 90s hip hop conversations.
Oh my gosh.
Let's look. San Antonio is still second. Denver's third. Minnesota, Golden State, Portland, and LA are your play-in teams right now. Obviously, Golden State loses Jimmy Butler. I could see them falling back. Portland, they're good. I mean, they're fine, but I don't trust them. The Clippers, they're one Kawhi injury away from being trash again.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think? You think this Grizzlies team can ever get back into the play? You think are they out? Are they trying to get in?
They're not out because I mean, like you just said, they're not out by any means. I think 8 is their absolute max they can probably get to now. But I don't know. The Grizzlies have a good track record in the play-in besides the very first year, which was Ja's rookie year during COVID. So the Grizzlies have a good track record during the play-in. So if they can get in, you can always. I feel like that's a good bet. Portland is always going to be Portland. Golden State, like you said, could fall off, and honestly, Phoenix can start that fall off. Yeah, man, I said the fall off again. Now I'm hyped again for J. Cole's album in like a week. Dude, if you talk to Evan Hayes and I'm so looking forward to that. But no, I mean, there's a chance. Obviously, it's just. It's not even apathetic at this point, like we mentioned earlier. So it's just it is what it is, and that's how we're dealing with it.
Are there people that are really feeling apathetic about this Grizzlies team?
I think 2 weeks ago with the Ja situation and how we were losing, yes. But now I think people are finally realizing how this team is constructed and how just the injuries that are never going to end. I think it's no longer apathetic, and people obviously today were very mad at the beginning of the post-game bounce. But at some point you just gotta look at it. You gotta take a deep breath and accept it for what it is. And this Grizzlies team will be a play-in team at best, and it's all about where your expectations were before the season.
Yeah.
So
I see. Like, I guess I take. Like, I'm not scared of a rebuild. Right, or not even a rebuild, or a reboot, if you will.
If the Grizzlies were to do that, I don't think if the Grizzlies were to do that, it's not going to take as long as a Washington or something like that. Simply because we have 2 solidified pieces that we are set in stone that we can build around if we move off the other 2. Like, the Grizzlies are in a better position to go into a retool or a rebuild than a lot of these other teams that are stuck there, like Utah. Utah did not have a piece to build on. Washington never had a piece to build on. The Nets, and Sacramento never really had a piece to build on either. So,
yeah, I guess there's even if there is, a consideration that, John Morant might not be on this team. I think, obviously past the deadline he will be, but if he's not a part of the future for this Grizzlies team, like, I feel really good about some of the things that I'm seeing, especially with the assets that they have in place from the Orlando trade.
Think about it this way. The Grizzlies could very well easily end up with 3 first-round draft picks this season.
Yeah. So I feel like we're in a spot where I think things are the future is bright, even if right now these games stink, even if right now, losing stinks. And I think 3 years of this, I saw somebody tweet this earlier where they said, it's crazy that we've had 3 straight seasons where we're looking forward to getting ready to the end of the season. Like, just get the season over with so we can get to the offseason and figure out what's happening. That's not a fun place to be. I understand that. And so I can understand where apathy comes into place. But when I think of apathy, Jared, and I know you're not a big follower of this team, when I think of apathy, I think of the Memphis Tiger fan base. Because there is a level of, like, where's the hope? Like, what hope do we have? Right? As a Tiger fan, it's like you realize you're behind the 8 ball in NIL, number one. Number 2, you're in a really bad conference where you're mid in the really bad conference. And it looks like this season especially is caused our favorite head coach to check out, and that's tough. And so there's a level of apathy there because it's like, where's the hope? I feel like that with the Grizzlies, there are pieces, there's glimmers of hope. So even if things aren't going great right now.
Yeah, shout out Smooth Southpaw. No Taylor Jenkins January run this year. He would always kind of do that. But, like, when the Grizzlies finally moved off of Mark in 2019, like, it was never a full rebuild after we lost in 6 to the Spurs in 2017. It was a bad lull year with injuries and Mike and Mark being their last years. Mark being traded the next year. but you had a Jaren and a Dylan Brooks at the time to build around. So it was never a true rebuild. And you came in with Mark and you brought in Jonas Valanciunas, who was a big piece. And while we got to play Utah in round 1 that year in Ja's sophomore season. So, like I said, there are positive outlooks to this team. Like I said, I've started looking at it this way. If Ja Morant is moved, you're looking at potential 3 first-round draft picks. And I think there's some other pieces that will be offloaded at the deadline, not the 2 main pieces, but I think there are some pieces that will be offloaded to make room for this said rebuild and for said retooling, or like I like to call it, because there are a lot of certified dudes in this draft.
Yeah, that's why it is number 1.
I'm not saying necessarily get younger either. Like I'm saying,
I am. If you move I'm like, I'm saying get young.
Oh yeah, because we tried
draft, get young.
Oh yeah, with this draft, get young. But like, I'm not saying this isn't me saying that Zach Kleiman is going to quadruple down on youth. This is finally, because here's the thing: when you say why get younger, you're going into an intentional rebuild. Zach Kleiman came out and said himself he unintentionally got younger. And so he came out and said that. At this point, you can't add vets to this team and expect them to be better, in my opinion. You kind of got to start retooling and build around build around Edey and get him to stay healthy. I guarantee you, if this team was 24-18 right now, Zach Edey would be playing in like a week and not shut down for 6 weeks. So it's just all perspective. Get younger, get a Darius Acuff, get one of these stud forwards. If we somehow end up with Darius Acuff, that's the quickest I'll ever buy a jersey, being an Arkansas fan. So
I know,
it's a John Calipari point guard.
I know that you're supposed to love Darius Acuff because he is a Arkansas Razorback.
Mm-hmm.
But good Lord, dude.
Yep.
Like I get what's my guy from Utah, the Utah Jazz, who played for the Illinois team in college?
Oh
my gosh. I said his name 2 days ago to somebody, and now I can't remember.
Why can I not think of it either? I know who you're talking about.
It starts with a D. The point guard that played for Utah.
Dylan Harper? No, not Dylan Harper. Nope. Why did that name pop?
Darren Williams.
Thank you.
Jesus
Golly.
Thank you, Smooth Southpaw. He has a lot of Darren Williams in his game. And Darren Williams, when he was in his prime, was my favorite point guard to watch in the NBA. I love Darren Williams. But yeah, I mean, I think that I would be very surprised if the Grizzlies do move the way that Zach Kleiman works, the way that he has worked in the past. I think that the Grizzlies are going to be a part of something at the trade deadline, but I honestly think it's going to be where they are the third team in a two-team trade.
They're going to be the team that makes a trade work.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And I think what Kleiman is going to do, because of Phoenix and how well they've played this year and what their first round situation looks like, I think he's going to try to make a trade work. He's going to try to get some kind of asset back in the first round of this 2026 draft. That's what I think he's going to do.
100%. That's just how he moves. And you're going to hear a lot of the discourse of why are we getting younger? Like you're going to hear that.
Well, it's a reset. The timeline resets.
It's a reset. It's a reset.
Yeah.
That timeline resets. The reason so many people were mad about us unintentionally getting younger in the past couple of years was because the Grizzlies had a little bit of a window and didn't really capitalize on it. And now you're hitting that, like, dang, I'm stealing a lot of stuff from Ant tonight. What Sane says with the Grizzlies hovering over that button, as soon as you hit that button, that clock strikes 0 and goes back.
Yep. It goes back. The timeline. So when Kadarius is saying, why get younger? If the aspirations are a championship team in year one, that's not happening. It's a reset of the timeline.
Things change when Barry Allen messes with the timeline and resets it.
There you go. All right. Let's get out of here. We've been here for almost an hour.
Man, that's a pretty good post-game bounce for after a loss, though. We got through what we needed to talk about, and then we got a little draft talk because the Grizzlies are going that way.
Shout out to everybody. I want to know in the comment section, if you watch college basketball, we're talking about the draft. What are some guys? I want you to give me a couple of picks. If the Grizzlies can get into the top 5, who do you want? If the Grizzlies get in that 6 to 11, who do you want? If they get from that 12 to 16, who do you want? That's what I want to know. So you got to give me 3 picks. You got to do a little bit of homework. Give me 3 picks. 1 through 5, who do you want? 6 through 11, who do you want? 12 through 16, who do you want? That's what I want to know.
And keep in mind, the Grizzlies could be picking in two sections in this draft.
Exactly.
They could pick in that first section, or in the third section. They could be picking in that second and third section.
Yeah. I'm telling you what, if there is a way the Grizzlies can get, there's no way. But if they can get that number 1 and bring Darren Peterson to this team,
either Darren Peterson or AJ DeBansa, however you say his name, but I'm all in on Peterson if that were to happen.
That guy is a multiple-time All-Star waiting to come to Memphis.
And there's also so many good point guards in this draft. Wayno mentioned it. Caleb Wilson also as well. God. Like there's a lot of good guards. There's a lot of good bigs.
Yeah.
And the Grizzlies could find themselves in the perfect spot to get one of each going forward.
Dude, Peterson is so nasty, dude.
Before we get out of here, think of it like this. Think of going into next year, Kenny, where and now I'm just going to pick 2 names, where you're starting because Darius Acuff right now, he is ranked. Darius Acuff's ranked 15th in this big board I'm looking at right now. So say the Grizzlies get to pick next year, and say if Zach Kleiman just fully moves off of John Jaren, imagine this. You get into the top 4. You come away with Caleb Wilson, and you don't get the number 1 pick. Come away with Caleb Wilson, and you go back and later in the draft with how Zach Kleiman does, you get Darius Acuff. I don't care if we make the play-in or not next year. You are running out a starting lineup of Darius Acuff, Cedric Coward, G.G. Jackson, Caleb Wilson, and Zacharias Edey.
Yeah, man.
And tell me that does not get you excited for the future of this deadgum team.
If it happens,
I'm saying like I just picked 2 random names, but the Grizzlies could theoretically be in a spot to do that next year, and it'd just be fun basketball to watch whether we make the playoffs or not.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it resets the timeline. That team's not a championship winning team.
No, it's not. But it's
they will.
Good
they
team.
will be. They will.
Yeah,
be.
it's a good team to look forward to in the future.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Kendarius says, what are their positions? That's the homework I want you to do, Kendarius. Go check them out. Go. You go do some homework, and you tell me who you want. 1 through 5, 6 through 11, 12
You want a passing big? Caleb Wilson this year. He is a power forward center. He's 6'10", playing 31 minutes a game, shooting 58% from the field, gets 10 rebounds a game, averaging 3 assists, a block and a half, and a steal and a half per game.
Yeah, man.
That Kendarius, that's the big you want. That's the power forward you want next to Zach Edey.
Crazy. All right. Shout out to you, Jared. Stay safe, man. Stay warm.
Man, y'all too, man. I know y'all are expected to get a lot more ice than we are up here. It is already diamond cutting cold up here.
Yes.
Amy made me take the trash out after I made dinner, and before it started getting all snowy. We've already had some flakes fall here. Dude, it's freezing outside. Y'all please stay safe in this crazy, because even after the winter storm comes through, it's supposed to be cold for about a week.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Shout out to everybody. We love you guys. Thank y'all for joining us at 10:35 on a Friday night. You guys are awesome. Grizzlies
everybody.
lost to the New Orleans Pelicans. What was it? 133 to 127, 28,
133, 127.
Yeah, 133 to 127. They're now 18-25, I think, on the season. Shout out. All right, bye, guys.